Hello, everyone. This is Dave Eddy. Here's another letter to Congress, and this one's to the state representatives. This is regarding the immigration in the states. Granted, some states it may not work, but hey, we can send it in, and here it is. Formal request for legislative action protecting due process and ensuring law enforcement accountability in immigration enforcement. To the representative, I am writing to you today as a concerned constituent to urge the state legislator to take immediate action to protect the constitutional rights of all individuals within our borders. Recent trends in federal immigration enforcement, specifically mass raids and expedited removals, threaten the safety of U.S. citizens and the fundamental due process rights of immigrants. I request that this letter be in supporting evidence provided be entered into the official record. Protection to due process is one. Protection to due process and legal hearings. Under the Fifth and 14th Amendments, the right to due process extends to all persons, not just citizens. Current expedited removal process and Operation Return to Sender tactics often bypass the official judicial oversights necessary to ensure that the individuals are not removed for false cause. When immigrants are denied their day in court, the risk of erroneous deporting U.S. citizens or individuals with legal status increases significantly. I urge you to support state level protections that ensure every resident has access to a fair hearing before any action is taken that could lead to removal. And number two, end unwarranted raids and roundup. The use of large scale raids is to round up individuals, creates community-wide trauma, disrupts local economies, and often results in the detention of non-targets. Research indicates that these aggressive tactics do not enhance public safety, rather they alternate immigrant communities, making them less likely to report crimes to cooperate with local police. We must prioritize surgical, evidence-based enforcement over indiscriminate dragnet operations. Three, local law enforcement accountability and status verification. I am particularly concerned about the lack of accountability when local law enforcement is entangled with ICE. I propose it's a state mandate requiring that local law enforcement must verify the status of those arrested through standard channels only when there is a legitimate crime nexus. ICE agents be held to strict accountability standards when operating within our state, requiring them to coordinate with local authorities to prevent the detention of citizens and legal residents. Official records must accurately reflect a person's status to prevent deporting just to deport without proper legal documentation. By requiring local oversight, we ensure that our law enforcement resources are used to protect our community rather than serving as an unchecked extension of federal agencies that may be operating without sufficient safeguards. Thank you for your leadership and for your ensuring that the rights of all people in our states are upheld. I look forward to your response regarding the steps you will take to address these critical issues. And there's a bibliography for sources on that. Based upon what I've heard conflicting stories. I've heard that there's 31% of the people are non-criminals. I've heard a third are criminals with heinous crimes. I think that there's an issue we have, and a breakdown because they go through trial, they get found guilty at a trial. If they're immigrants or they're undocumented, they ICE is contacted and let them know they're supposed to put an ICE hold on until they fulfill the sentence. And what I would recommend on top of that is not ending their sentence, but putting them out on parole with the understanding that they're being deported back to their country of origin. And also that a flag be put on the record so they can't return if there's that heinous of a crime. I believe there's a breakdown because there are immigrants with crimes in the states that are returning with those crimes. So they must not really be fully checking the record. I don't think that ICE should be involved in raids indiscriminately. And I think that local law enforcement should do what it should go back to the way it was. But with the exception of if there's verifiable proof that a company is using undocumented workers, they contact the local law enforcement to help with the raid. They go in, get the people there they are undocumented and remove them. I don't think just going in with ICE to remove them because ICE is not trained in law enforcement per se. They're trained in their side. And seeing what I've seen the last couple of days, they are violently violating their own regulations, leaving people dead in the street, leaving people to bleed out in the street, refusing to let a doctor go look at a person that they just shot. All that shows that they are not true law enforcement, shouldn't be doing. Thank you for your time, and that was all my opinion at the end. Thank you for your time. Like, share, follow. Please subscribe where you can and on all of my socials. And remember, you are loved no matter what you do. Thank you and goodbye.